Hi, this is Modest Pelican's hot Latina lawyer. Any references Pelly makes in this video are entirely fictional. Every time he refers to Mr. Beast, Ava Chris Tyson, or Dr. Disrespect, he's simply referring to his 3 house cats. Any real-world similarities are purely a coincidence.
Today we have arguably our most controversial mission yet. Today we'll be visiting a 5-star resort in the Maldives to take down Ava Chris Tyson, Dr. Disrespect, and of course the big girl himself, Mr. Beast. You might be wondering why, Pelican. Why do these people deserve to be assassinated? Just in case you actually go outside and don't spend all your time online, let me fill you in. First, there's Mr. Beast, who's being accused of war crimes. Seriously, that's the accusation, following on from one of his family-friendly challenges. These war crimes include locking a grown man inside in complete isolation. Well, he had frequent visitors, earned $10,000 a day, and even had an ice cream machine, but the ice cream machine was always broken and the jacuzzi was lukewarm at best. They allegedly never turned the lights off and made him run a marathon with no training, which does sound insane. Some people think the Geneva Convention was broken. Some people think there's worse things than being paid 10 racks a day to jog in a well-lit room. I personally think it's unacceptable that Mr. Beast would put him in there, with a broken ice cream machine. My boy's retinas are slowly getting seared by the constant fluorescent lighting and he can't even cop a froyo. Mr. Beast might as well set up a stall at the Frankfurt Book Fair and start signing copies of Mein Kampf. Staying at this tropical resort is also Ava Chris Tyson and Dr. Disrespect. These two share the same crime that is no surprise. Let's just say they inappropriately message minors in search of underage love because that's what they did. Put it this way, picture your favorite YouTuber. They're a pedo. Unless you pictured me. My girlfriend is 23 and it's been an amazing relationship. Best 10 years of my life. Today I'm wearing a tasteful Christmas sweater and will be bringing in with me a silenced SMG, a Feastables chocolate bar and a Beast burger. I immediately run into Ava Chris Tyson and she says I should call her. This is suspicious as Agent 47 is in his mid-50s. I know he moisturizes, stays hydrated, and as a result has a great skin complexion, but the guy is completely bald. Surely Ava doesn't think he's a child. Not that there's anything wrong with going bald, by the way, women love it. Or so I tell myself every night as I fiercely apply Rogaine to my scalp. I check into my luxury cabin, but all of a sudden I'm hit with panic. All the doors are locked, and it's clear Mr. Beast has trapped me in here as part of a 100 days locked in a room philanthropy challenge. I know there's people who get up for work at 5 AM in the middle of winter to build houses, but being trapped in a luxury room like this is far harder. I can't wait until I get out and can make my Mr. Beast exposed video. I locate a hatch in the floor and hop down, falling into the water below, escaping. Although I did have keys for this cabin the entire time. It's almost as if all these challenges are fake. Who would have ever guessed that reality TV is scripted? I go to show myself back inside, but then I spot Ava Chris Tyson. She's speaking with an adult man. I can only suspend my disbelief so much. I head back inside my private hut and look for anything useful. First though, I change out of my outfit because as cute as Agent 47 looks in this little Christmas sweater, it doesn't exactly scream beach vacation. I pick up a pamphlet for the resort outlining the various amenities, grab the shaving blade from the bathroom sink, and then I find a note on my bed with a phone number saying, "Call me." I proceed to call the number and Ava Chris Tyson answers. She says, "Early Learning and Daycare Center, Ava speaking." I'm like, "Whoa big girl, it's Baldy here," and then she invites me to lunch. The best thing about getting lunch with a registered sex offender is that suddenly me clipping my neighbor with my car when he was out jogging early in the morning really doesn't seem that bad. On the way to the restaurant, I stop by the dance floor to do a security sweep. Eliminating the targets is our primary objective, but ensuring the safety of the guests is crucial. These two are clearly safe from the likes of Dr. Disrespect. Mr. Beast, however, may well try to use them in a fun challenge video, or God forbid as cheap elderly labour in a Mr. Beast ghost kitchen. We need to move fast. I meet Ava and she encourages me to sit down. We begin talking. I quickly realise I've been catfished. There's clearly no lunch. Great, now Agent 47 has to kill 3 online personalities with low blood sugar. Ava asks if I can steal a USB drive that has sensitive material on it. Apparently it's being held in Mr. Beast's basement along with Chandler. I wonder what could ever be on that USB drive. Surely it's just a red hot playlist of educational Christian music. I agree to help, as if we can win Ava's trust, we might be able to get her alone and then murder her. I continue exploring the island, looking for the other targets or anything that can help us. I see a lifeguard assisting a man with a jellyfish sting. That lifeguard uniform has to be the campiest little twink fit I've ever seen in my life. I decide the next place I'll investigate is the gym and sauna area. En route, I stumble into a few of my colleagues, but they're aware I'm not actually a lifeguard. maybe it's the pasty white skin, maybe it's the obvious SMG bulge in my tiny shorts. Either way, I run for the bushes in a desperate attempt not to blow my cover. I find my way to the gym, and what I discover in the women's change room is absolutely shocking. This woman is on her phone, watching a MrBeast philanthropy video, and she's not even subscribed. What's the point of giving away money if selfish people like this won't even sub with notifications on? I walk into a pump class and see a lass with an eye-catching booty. Younger Pelican would have pointed a gun at that ass, taken a screenshot, and captured a truly refined thumbnail. Not now though, I've grown. Now I clickbait the murder of popular YouTubers like an intellectual. I say g'day to ex-Australian Prime Minister John Howard, and then Dr. Disrespect comes in and starts doing pull-ups. It's fascinating how we all stay strong for different reasons. MrBeast pulls people out of poverty. I pull out the plug after I've had a bubble bath, and Dr. Disrespect pulls students out of class early so he can give them a little playground smooch. I follow the target around looking for anything we can use to off him. He's still got his gaming headset, sunglasses, wig, and vest on. Look, the absolute last thing I'd ever want to be is disrespectful, but I'm pretty sure this guy isn't even a real doctor. Also, I'd clap him in a 1v1. And probably not, but there's a reason the good doctor never went Major League Pro. He prefers the minors. I notice there's an option to be a spotter on the bench press, but I need to become a personal trainer to do that. Before I try and secure a disguise, I observe the rest of his workout. The big man's bicep curl form is about as good as his public relations strategy. He tweeted out a photo of him playing chess while we play checkers. Wow, good one, Doc. You messaged a minor and then self-confessed to your sins via a public tweet. Stop posting chess analogies and own up to your sins in confession. Trust me, the priest will be able to empathize. I do admit my own tweet game has not been good lately. I tweeted out a photo of my niece and made a Papa Pelli joke, and I woke up to a bunch of congratulations on being a dad messages. Reading them all was heartwarming, but I don't have any kids. I noticed the personal trainer regularly sips water from this bottle, giving us a window of opportunity. I pull out my Feastables chocolate bar and prepare to make a play. When no one's looking, I sprinkle the tasty snack into his water bottle. I'm never proud when I have to use the rich allure of God's translucent nectar to harm someone. The personal trainer takes a sip and proceeds to hunch over and die. MrBeast, what are you putting in these chocolate bars, big fella? I was hoping he'd maybe get a tummy ache and go somewhere isolated to spew. The guards quickly begin searching the gym, and it becomes clear that this area is way too hot. We'll have to find another angle. I head over to MrBeast's mansion, as he's the only target we haven't scoped out yet. I approach the front entrance, and two guards both unanimously agree that Agent 47 is the prettiest little lifeguard they've ever seen. They deny me entry to the villa. There are guards absolutely everywhere. How will we ever get in? Well, that's easy. We'll just jog down this completely unguarded side access route which leads straight to the back deck. MrBeast should really hire a few more guards. That being said, he's probably still shook from all of his employees being constantly exposed. Maybe he should only hire minors, that would solve the problem. Just a big child workforce. Jokes aside, apparently it was all a big internal mix-up. Right as he printed off his final cut list of potential employees, his mum printed off a list of all the sex offenders in the area for her Bible study group to hand out to the neighbours. He picked up the wrong list from the printer and hired them all. Could have happened to any of us. I spot a guy standing at the end of the diving board, and I know exactly what I have to do. I sneak up behind the thick daddy and do my best impression of an average Pepe football tackle. This was a hugely questionable decision, as a dozen guards witnessed this war crime. I've learned from the internet you can just call anything you like a war crime. Being waterboarded, no easy access to ice cream, I see no difference. I almost die, but somehow I managed to slip away. God's plan. I'm now forced to sneak around in the bushes, as everyone at the resort knows a killer is on the loose. The only way to solve this predicament is to commit the biggest war crime of all. A war crime of fashion. We're going to have to ditch this timeless lifeguard fit. I head into the girls' bathroom again for some reason. I then pull out my camera and start filming, and just like that I'm Dr. Disrespect. They say become your enemies. I'm now deep in the mind of the doc. Except I add an elegant Amora filter when I film people in the bathroom because I have taste. I find a guard that's somewhat alone and lure him into the bushes. I then throw my shaving blade into his little head, take his clothes, take his gun, and drag the corpse deep into the tropical garden. Probably a bit unnecessary to kill him, but in the wise words of MrBeast, no murder will ever weigh on you as heavy as a diamond play button. I'm now able to explore the island freely again. Everyone's out looking for a jacked bald lifeguard with a barcode on the back of his head, not a jacked bald resort guard with a barcode on the back of his head. I decide I'm going to retrieve that USB drive for Ava, so I go full sweat mode. I head back to the Beast Mansion, jump over the perimeter wall, make my way over to the private bar like a sneaky alcoholic stepdad. I place a handgun on the ground like I was fighting a proxy war. The guard picks up the handgun and takes it to evidence, but who cares where he's taking it as long as weapons are moving. You've got to spend the budget to get the budget. I use this window to attack the bartender, and I proceed to punch him in the face like I was Travis Scott on some perks, but he sees my face, so I drag the corpse off the deck. I can't figure out how to get the corpse off the deck and the guard's coming back, so I fumble. I then find the deck stairs. What kind of assassin doesn't notice deck stairs? I hide the body, but he saw my face, so I execute the lad like he was a Russian citizen who'd accumulated an unusually high net worth without sharing any of it with Big Papa Vladimir Putin. I decide to make some cocktails, and this guard's thirsty, so I rip up the Beast Burger and put it inside his mojito. This makes him feel quite unwell, but doesn't kill him, he just chunders everywhere. Beast Burgers now proudly sponsored by bulimia. Twice the taste, 0 the calories. I wish I could take his disguise, but there's way too many guards watching, so all we achieved was making a grown man throw up. We haven't killed a single target, and now we don't have any gadgets left, but at least that guard's summer body is on a promising trajectory. I find a secret hallway, and right as I approach the door, a man exits, and I slip inside. We have entered Mr. Beast's secret underground facility. I pick up a shovel and patiently wait for someone to enter. Big Boy comes back and starts sketching out that he's going to be fired. Oh boy, he must have broken one of the 10 Mr. Beast employment commandments. 1. Thou shalt not develop a personality. 2. Thou shalt never express a political opinion. 3. Thou shalt never say the Lord Beast's name in vain. 4. Try really hard not to message minors. 5. Thou shalt not kill, unless it's part of a philanthropy challenge. 6. No hiring sex offenders, unless they're family. 7. If you truly insist on messaging minors, please for the love of God be discreet. 8. No more than 2 war crimes an episode. 9. Don't call me a robot. 10. I can harvest as much of your blood as I deem necessary. Everyone down here seems to know that I'm not actually a tech guy when this is objectively the best disguise I've worn all mission. This massive server farm is where Mr. Beast holds the data of every single person in the world so he can maximize the quality of his content. Using subliminal retention tactics that can hypnotize even the smartest of 9-year-olds, he ensures that by utilizing enough fast cuts, fake loading bars in his sponsorships, and generic 20-year-old white dudes as co-stars, he can finally be loved. Everybody asks, how did Mr. Beast get 312 million subscribers? No one ever asks, how is Mr. Beast? I overhear this woman leaving a loud and descriptive voicemail regarding the USB drive being kept in her locker, which is extremely convenient. I need to upgrade my disguise, so I stalk a senior guard into the storeroom and whack him in the head with a shovel. Fun fact, I can undress a man way faster than Agent 47 can. I grab a crowbar from the shelf and make my way to the locker room. Every time I walk into a locker room, I remember all the times I had to get changed in high school and was mercilessly bullied. Everybody called me 3-Leg Jeff and used to say, oh boy, I bet that thing gives him back pain. I proceed to execute the only guard in here with my silenced submachine gun. I bust open the locker room and find a banana. Wow, really funny guys. I wish I had a regular sized banana. Why am I always being taunted for being way above average? This game gives me PTSD. I open another locker and find the USB drive. Everything is falling into place. On my way out, I stumble across a secret armory filled with guns and a surveillance system. I take some weapons and then sit down in the desk chair to see what Mr. Beast has been up to. To my shock and horror, he has set up cameras, some of which are recording the bathrooms. It's clear what's happening here. James Stephen Donaldson, which is my cat's full legal name, is feeding people his Beast philanthropy burgers and then observing them throw up while he binge watches his own videos and aggressively touches himself. That or the maids are stealing the Egyptian cotton hand towels, it's impossible to be sure. I find a new senior guard fit and enter the belly of the Beast. The first thing I see is the most handsome man in the world. Mr. Beast's mansion is pretty nice. I thought he gave away all his money though. I can't believe he doesn't live in a cardboard box somewhere on Skid Row. I'm so mad. I'm going to hit him where it hurts him the most. I'm going to turn off notifications for his channel. I'll stay subscribed though, because if I see him in the street, I want him to give me money. A sea storm begins rolling in, which means we'll have to be quick as Agent 47 hates it when his hair gets frizzy. I begin searching the mansion for our target. I head into Mr. Beast's security quarters. Hitman games always have a lot of goodies in these rooms, and sure enough I find some remotely detonated explosives and then head upstairs. I finally locate Mr. Beast. He looks sad. His last video probably only got 600 million views instead of the projected 9 billion. He just cured all those people's blindness for absolutely nothing. Unfortunately, both him and his private guard know that I'm an imposter, so I'll need a new disguise. I decide to tail him for a while longer. I pull out my camera and get to see him in his full glory. Wow, he looks kind of Disney. It's almost as if my modder struggled coding Mr. Beast into Hitman and after a while got frustrated and just imported the model from Fortnite, and we both thought it was funny, so left it. Enough messing around, it's time for some targets to die. I head to Dr. Disrespect's private island and look for a chink in his armor. We'll have to be careful though, because the doc's always a few moves ahead. Never forget, he's playing chess, we're playing checkers. He's not just a few moves ahead though, he's a few years ahead. In 36 short months, the minors he messaged will be 18. We're so dumb, he's so smart, it was a classic reputation gambit. I notice his jet ski, and so I run out to it. There's an option to insert the remote detonated explosives, and I proceed to do so. I wait a long time for the doc to come and enjoy a ride on his jet ski. He never arrives though, and I worry that I wasted my explosives. I figure I better find him. I stream snipe Dr. D, and he's running laps of the island. He doesn't even take his wig off, just straight into it. I guess no one ever thinks about how important cardio is when chasing kids. I continue tailing my target, and he does everything but ride a jet ski. I see him on a laptop. I'm sure he's just looking up some casserole recipes. Finally, he heads out towards the jet ski and just stares at it. He has a ripe old gander and then walks away. It appears that this cat genuinely is playing chess. He walks all the way over to the diving cabin and asks the instructor if he can have the jet ski keys back. The instructor says, "No way, mate." Good on him for standing his ground. While checking the air tanks for the next diving trip, the poor instructor has a nasty fall. I pick up the jet ski keys, put on the wetsuit, and return the keys to Doc. Well, at least I try to. It's quite frankly a pretty awkward interaction. Who would have guessed that the pedo who dresses up in a wig would have poor social skills? He heads straight for the jet ski as everything falls ever so perfectly into place. I probably follow him a little too closely, but he's so excited about having a splash, he doesn't even notice. As I watch the Walmart Zlatan Ibrahimovic skim over the waves, I think to myself, when I was a teenager, I worked out. I tried to dress well. Yes, I've got a huge nose, I'll admit, but I scrub up alright. Why didn't Dr. Disrespect message me? Where was my inappropriate Twitch DM? Am I not handsome enough to be a victim? I realise I'm actually very jealous. I detonate the explosives, sending the big girl flying into the sky. 1 target down, 2 targets to go. I didn't want that lanky fake medical professional to message me anyway. I head back to my private cabin in preparation to cook Ava Chris Tyson. I of course change back into my Christmas sweater as to not raise suspicion. I hide all of my automatic weapons and then call her number. Ava answers and says, "Did you manage to fit all 26 of them in the one shipping container?" And Agent 47 responds, "What? I found the USB drive." And Ava says, "Sorry, I thought it was Dimitri from the docks. Come and meet me right now, you festive malacca." Is making child trafficking jokes too far? Honestly, maybe. It's always hard to know exactly where the line is. I take that back. I do not think Ava would ever try and cram 26 kids into a shipping container. It would be like a spacious 15 at most. Ava says to come into the massage room with her. Wow, I usually have to go to Thailand for this experience. I follow her inside and hand her the USB stick. She begins to speak. She says, "Agent 47, I think it's so chill that you're bald." She goes on to say in general, going bald early is totally fine and maybe even a good thing. She continues to yap. She says working for Jimmy was the hardest job in the world. Sometimes she had to film for several hours a week. Jimmy bought her a mansion and the guest bathroom didn't even have a bidet. I pull out my silence pistol and eliminate our second target. I quickly pick up the USB drive and hide the body. Ironically, Mr. Beast's public relation team has floated this exact idea to him multiple times. I'm honestly surprised this assassination job on Ava didn't get double booked. I change back into my guard disguise and head for the Beast Manor. It's time to kill YouTube's golden goose. It makes me sick to my stomach every time I think of that poor man trapped in a well-lit room earning a laughable $10,000 a day. All he wanted was a pistachio vanilla double scoop. All he wanted was to relax in a smoking hot jacuzzi. Mr. Beast said no and turned all of the lights on. Could the contestant have made an eye mask? I don't know, probably yes. Actually, why didn't he just make an eye mask? Not like he had anything else to do. That doesn't matter though, because I don't care if Mr. Beast cleans all the seas and plants 1 million trees. He dies today. What a good looking rooster that guy is. I think he may also be on a fair amount of hallucinogens. I guess Mr. Beast really doesn't care what his stuff do as long as it's not touching kids. I turn off his trippy visuals, pick up a golf club and whack the gorgeous specimen over the head. Now in his clothes I'm able to approach Mr. Beast. Over 300 million subscribers and he can't even get HD textures, what a bot. I tell him I have a USB that Ava wanted and he's very happy with this. He's so happy in fact that he immediately offers me a job as head of his security. That's probably moving a little fast, Chief. I think a lot of Jimmy's staff problems could be solved with a basic background check. He takes me to his private office to discuss my promotion, which I know quite well as I rated it for weapons. This is exactly how I imagined his office. He sits down and strikes an evil pose. The lighting is ominous in here and he proceeds to spin around and say, "I want you to suck me off while I delete mean comments and refresh my YouTube analytics." I pull out a machine gun and fill Jimmy with lead. The king of YouTube is dead. The irony that he died in an unbelievably poorly lit room. All 3 cats have been taken care of. I probably should have used a suppressed weapon as guards begin rushing to my position. I lay down some covering fire and run for the exit, securing the most successful mission of all time. We've had a few cheap laughs today, but I think this Mr. Beast quote genuinely stayed with me the most. He said, "I need your help. Next time you see Feastables in Walmart, if you could please clean up the presentation, that would make me very happy. Cute little emoji." So guys, can we all get out there and help clean up the Feastables display in the confectionery aisle? Take a day off work or school or university, get in your car, get on a bus, hitchhike if you have to, steal a bike, but make sure your local Walmart has a nicely presented Feastables shelf display. The Modest Pelican community needs to do our part to elevate Feastables. It's what the late Jimmy Donaldson would have wanted. If you enjoyed this video, hit like, and check out my other YouTube channel Papa Pelly and all my other social medias in the description. I love you.